possible delay in the Jodi Arias retrial. Why prolong the pain for Travis Alexander's devastated siblings? Good evening. My co-host is SiriusXM radio host and attorney Jenny Hutt. We've got a lot to get into tonight. Jenny, big news on the Jodi Arias trial, and we will hear from her best friend tonight.
I remember walking out my back door, screaming, crying at the sky, asking why.
I'm going to do the best to speak on behalf of my family. My family that has been tortured.
I have nightmares about somebody coming at me with a knife and then going after my wife and my daughter.
Losing Travis has completely destroyed the overall health of our family.
I've been on several different antidepressants. Unfortunately, none of them really worked.
Back with my co-host Jenny Hutt and Mark Eiglarsh, Lauren Lake, Cheryl Arrett, Lonnie Coombs. They're all still with me. Here's what we're going to look at. Jury foreman Bill Zervakos, he has been scapegoated for voting against the death penalty. Here's what he told KTVK's Mike Watkis about the threats he is receiving.
Of course I took some seriously, but I didn't really get anything that would make me, make me pause or felt like my family was in danger. I just feel like people, quite honestly, are stupid. Just call me a dirty old man, and people that make stupid remarks like that, I mean, it's just not worth wasting time with. No, we didn't chicken out. To chicken out would have been say, okay, all right, 8 of you want to do it, okay, whatever. That would have been chickening out.
And on a reminder, on Monday, he will join me in a primetime exclusive interview. He wants to come clean about all this and talk about these threats he's getting. Going out right now first to Shanna Hogan, investigative reporter and author of the upcoming Jodi Arias book, Picture Perfect. Shanna, you've got some breaking news. Go ahead.
Yes, Dr. Drew. Huge news just today. The defense team has filed a motion to continue, meaning they are waiting. They want the penalty phase of the trial to start in January 2014, which is a significant delay from the current July 18th trial date that it's supposed to start on.
Now, Jodi's friend Patti was supposed to testify during the mitigation phase on Jodi's behalf, but became frightened by all the same stuff that the foreman is getting. Listen to what she told Jane Velez Mitchell just a short time ago.
They posted my address, my home address, with a description of what my house looks like with a map. They're hacking into my Facebook, stealing pictures of me and my daughter. I'm worried that, this is all going to start over again. And I'm just now feeling better about my safety and, just my mental health. I never expected this, I don't know. I mean, who could ever tell? She was such a good person. And knowing that I shared so many good memories with her, we've all lost somebody in this horrible situation.
All right, I want to get everyone's reaction to this. I'm going to start with Lauren Lake. Go ahead.
It hurts me. And I'm going to say this, Dr. Drew. I am getting so sick and tired of this new culture of aggression that we're exhibiting in this country, where when someone is called on to tell their truth, that if it's not the truth you want to hear, you get to bully them and somehow threaten their lives, make them uncomfortable. It's just not right. And as a person really that makes a living giving opinions that are not always popular, I can take the heat, but everyone can't. And it's truly affecting our justice system, people who have the right to come in and tell their truth under oath to maybe a friend that they had. We have to stop this. I mean, I almost came to tears when she started tearing up because that was her friend. We may hate her, but that's her friend, and she has a truth to tell, and she's entitled to tell it.
Lonnie.
Dr. Drew, I think this is so important. I'm so glad you're talking about this. I feel extremely passionate about this. I dedicated 18 years of my life putting the most dangerous people away behind bars. And it's an important part of our society. The criminal justice system is what keeps us from disintegrating into chaos. But what we saw in this trial, and we've been seeing a little bit more and more over the years, is extremely frightening, where the public is becoming so invested that they're starting to attack people who are not to blame. They didn't commit the crime. They're coming in and they're testifying as experts. They're testifying as witnesses. They're friends of the victims or the defendants. They are not the ones to blame. And when we attack them, at the least it's bullying or emotional, infliction of emotional distress. At worst, it becomes vigilantism, and it really threatens the core of the integrity of our justice system, where people are going to become frightened for their own lives if they participate in this justice system. And I'll tell you, we've got a real problem on our hands if we don't step back, and we all need to be reminding people and encouraging people. You can be passionate about it, but we need to have these boundaries. We need to respect people that are participating and doing the right thing. Jurors, witnesses, we need these people to make the justice system work, and we can't be attacking them like this.
By the way, how about just attacking people for expressing their First Amendment privilege? I'm just saying. But Jenny, go ahead. And by the way, I want to hang before you talk, Jen, I want to ask the control room. You know what I'd like to do? I want to finish going to everybody on the panel. Then, if you wouldn't mind, I think I'd like to replay the tape, because this has really struck a chord with all of us. If we could replay Patti's tape after we've gone around the horn here, so we'll have Jenny, Mark, then Cheryl. Then Jenny, go ahead.
I just feel like it's a little bit of a witch hunt in a way.
Of course, it's the same thing. Listen, I keep thinking of the guillotine. It's revolutionary France. That's what happened there.
Right, we don't have access to Jody direct access, but we sure do have direct access to this woman who's done nothing wrong other than she wants to maybe talk about someone who used to be her friend, and this happened, and it's awful. So I don't like that mentality. It is bullying, and these people need to be spanked.
Mark.
The only thing I can add to what was so eloquently stated by your other guests is the following. Putting aside Jody Arias for 1 second, if it's one of your loved ones, and it can be because it has been when I've defended people in the system for close to 20 years now, and what happens is you have a witness who can exonerate your loved one, but they don't want to come to court. They don't want to come forward because either the mob mentality or because they're just so fearful of what's going to happen when they get to court. Think about it that way, and maybe you say, you know what, you're right. This shouldn't happen anymore.
Cheryl, I'm saying that social media, one of the consequences, it may be a great thing, but one of the consequences is the application of mob.
Absolutely. And the loss of privacy. People feel like they feel so incredibly violated. It was so intrusive for Patti to have her Facebook pictures, her child, put out there. She was not probably just concerned about herself, but also concerned about her child. And we need to make sure that people feel like they can come forward and they can speak. And if people are too intimidated to be able to speak their truth, this whole system isn't going to work, and all the guests spoke so beautifully about this, but I just want to remind everybody, you're entitled to whatever feelings you have. But the system should work. And if somebody says, this was my best friend and I only saw the greatest person on earth, and then the jury looks at all of the evidence, it'll still work. They'll still see all these other things. We shouldn't be so threatened by hearing multiple points of view.
We're not saying Patti was accurate in her perception of Jody Arias. We're in fact saying she lost a fantasy version of what Jody was. She can't believe that Jody was capable of murder. Guess what? She was. You had a misperception, but she's still entitled to safely testify in court. Let's replay that tape.
Right.
They posted my address, my home address, with a description of what my house looks like with a map. They're hacking into my Facebook, stealing pictures of me and my daughter. I'm worried that, this is all going to start over again. And I'm just now feeling better about my safety and, just my mental health. I never expected this, I don't know. I mean, who could ever tell? She was such a good person. And knowing that I shared so many good memories with her, we've all lost somebody in this horrible situation.
I want to say thank you to Jane Velez Mitchell for allowing us to air that interview, and congratulations for an excellent, excellent interview. The Monday program, we have a primetime exclusive. The foreman of the Jody Arias jury will be my guest. He, as he has said, was one of the 4 jurors who voted against the death penalty.